Okay, my name's Duran. I wanted to make a video on my reaction to the James Harden trade, the whole Victor Oladipo situation in Houston. I think the Victor Oladipo situation is extremely intriguing because he doesn't want to be in Houston. He just got traded there, but he was kind of like a scapegoat of a pawn of a deal. Houston was enticed by him, but he definitely doesn't want to be there. I don't even know if Houston makes the playoffs this year. John Wall is playing a lot better, and DeMarcus Cousins looks resurrected almost. But with the whole James Harden thing, everybody's talking. He's fattened up. Kyrie Irving is missing. He's being investigated. I think he's going to be suspended 10 games by the NBA once the investigation's over for his whole sneaking off and going to the club thing. I think they're sick and tired of situations like that. But I don't know, maybe that's harsh. 5 games. I think it's at least 5 games. But I wouldn't be surprised if Kyrie Irving is suspended 10 games. But I wanted to talk about the ceiling. A lot of people are speculating, what's the ceiling of this Nets team? And I can't believe how many people think this thing's going to blow up. I understand the personalities are going to clash, but I mean, good Lord, they got a hell of a lot of talent. People forget how good Joe Harris is, how much he spaces the floor. If he's open for a 3, that bad boy's going in 9 out of 10 times. So, Jeff Green is very underrated. He always gets this bad flack because he was drafted high. He never worked out in Seattle and Oklahoma City, and he's kind of bounced around. But when you have Joe Harris and Jeff Green with Kyrie, KD, and James Harden, I'm a diehard Miami Heat fan, but I'll be quite honest with you. I think the Nets would just blow my team out the water. I know there's some Heat fans that would be very mad at me, but they got too much scoring. There's too much offense. My team relies a lot on passing the ball around and making good, smart shots. But with that team, I mean, Harden can make tough shots at any point in time. KD can make tough shots at any point in time. Kyrie can do a little, slice and dice, chop up your ankles, get to the rim, score, dump it off to whoever's cutting to the rim. I'm extremely frightened being a Heat fan. I think that the bubble kind of benefited us, last year. I'm not saying it was kind of a miracle run, but I look at Boston and Milwaukee as matching up better with the Nets, which I think the Heat could beat both Boston and Milwaukee, but I really don't know if we could beat the Nets. Right now, if I was a betting man, I'd say the Nets are headed to the NBA Finals to play either the Clippers or the Lakers. So I know that that's probably a hot take right now because everybody thinks it's just going to blow up, but I see the Nets as going to the NBA Finals. I think they could actually win the NBA championship completely. I really do. And, that's my whole take on the whole. It could be way different a month from now, but I really think that this is way different than the old, that older Nets team with KG, Paul Pierce, and Joe Johnson. And then you have some other situations with the Lakers when they had Dwight Howard and Steve Nash. And I think the perfect thing about it is Steve Nash is the coach of the Nets. So he knows exactly what went wrong with that Lakers team years ago that was supposed to win 80 games and win the NBA championship easily. Obviously, that was far from the case, but I think he's going to manage it well. I think he's going to end up being way better a coach than anybody thought. So going back to Victor Oladipo, this guy is going to try to force his way out of Houston. I think he is. Where he goes, I'd love him to go to the Heat, but I don't think he wants to play there. I think he's going to play there for about a month at the most. I could see a couple likely landing spots. Miami, Minnesota, for some reason, feels like if they threw him in there with D'Angelo Russell and Cat and Edwards, that would be really interesting. Throw Edwards at the small forward position, I mean, think of that. Russell, Oladipo, Edwards, and then Cat at the center. And they have Malik Beasley, who you could just slide into the 4, and that could make Minnesota a playoff team easily. You think of a couple other teams. The Charlotte Bobcats come to mind a little bit. But just some teams just trying to jump into the conversation that could use a superstar. So I don't think Oladipo is going to last long, and I actually am very high on this Nets team. I apologize if the video isn't very high quality. I'm just starting off doing some speculation in my car, sports mobile type stuff. So I appreciate anybody who watched this. This is just my opinion, but we'll see how it goes.